we will take a short break from this important work of recognizing each of our graduates. And it is now my pleasure to introduce today's student speaker, Joshua Russell, who will be reading an original poem to commemorate the day. Joshua is a Michigan-born Texan, is graduating with a degree in Plan II Honors and Rhetoric and Writing. During his time at UT, Joshua was committed to addressing disparities in higher education, advocating for the creation of safe and supportive writing spaces, and participating and organizing events that focused on showcasing Black artistic expression. He has performed at every Poetry on the Pond since its inception way back in 2021, and in his final semester received the All We Can Save Poetry Award. Joshua, congratulations on all you've done and your graduation, and welcome to the stage.
Thank you. Hold on. All right, I just want to say thank you so much for all the friends who are standing here with me, and to the people who make this possible, Liz and Katie and Dean Carter, who, in a world of so much noise, made time to hear me. I won't take up too much of your time, and I don't have a poem in my usual sense, but I hope I have words that can commemorate a very poetic journey. It's been a long time coming. This is not just the work of 4 years. This is both a culmination and a precipice of our lives. Everything we have done, every accomplishment and every hard lesson, every challenge overcome has led us right here to this moment. And here we are, thousands strong in all manner of achievements, too many to name, and all just the beginning. And if you've seen what I've seen on this campus in these past few weeks, you may be tired, but you are resilient and not defeated. So please, once again, congratulate yourselves because we made it. I thought about the journey here, about my time at UT and COLA, and Plan II, and the Dedman program. I think about how strange the path has been. Seeing pieces of the world for the first time, meeting other poets making their way through a university with the same dream as me, I remember how impossible that seemed. Not the first time something has seemed impossible. I remember it being unfathomable. To my best friend's father that I, instead of his wealthy white son, had made it into UT Austin, into an honors program, into a full ride by any means other than affirmative action. To him, I was a discrepancy. But it wasn't the first time I was a discrepancy. I remember the perplexed look on my 4th grade teacher's face when I arrived at school every day, healthy and intact, with a single mother working full-time behind the wheel. I remember the laughter in the old man's lips when I told him I was going to college to study words. The disbelief when I promised him I would be a poet. I remember, too, the happy surprise in my mother's eyes when I promised her I'd be a writer as well. Somehow the same dream I'd had at 4 years old, pen in hand, and not a letter I could write, and that one day I'd get the chance to write about her. We are full of discrepancies, yet we're louder with doubt. That research can impact people, that a poet can also be a scholar, that words can change the world, that a single mother can raise a man, that in this world you might have to choose between making money and making change. And so we spend our lives trying to make ourselves make sense, to fit the whole of our being into these 8 hours of a day, in the hard-earned majors, one title, a single body, and save the rest for quiet dreams and low-lit dinner tables. We chalk up our other halves to things we could have been and would have done if things were different. Possibilities not meant for this life because you need to be realistic. But we are many lives in a single body, One lifetime and 1,000 wishes and many more dreams, and the world is waiting for your discrepancies. For the model who walks between countries as an ambassador, the scholar who tells his truth through poetry, the daydreaming kid who makes it into a creative writing program because he wants to share his dreams with others, to be the CEO who might just give as much as she takes, the playwright who practices law, the researcher who writes about blues, the community organizer who puts on for nation, the environmental scientist who dances her love for the earth. For you, to be the brain that makes it out of a hood only to bring the power back, to make it past education's gates only to open the doors for everyone. And if you don't think this is possible, look around you. And know that these people are sitting here right next to you, that these are just some of the discrepant dreams of the College of Liberal Arts, the humanities, the in-betweens and unmolded. Own your discrepancies. Be loud in the quiet places. Walk uneven ground, and when the world gives you two options, you become the third. And when the world tells you to silently go along, it is your job to stand in the stream. And when institutions hide racism behind words like colorblind, call the vehement sexism neutrality, it is your job to refuse to be washed away. And when justice refuses to remove her blindfold in the face of injustice, it is your job to keep your eyes open and pay attention to the sleight of hand that would have you believe that love is a fossil fuel, a resource in limited supply, that care is a labor we don't have enough energy for, that genocide isn't born from the same evil as terror, that truth is a growing danger, that diversity is a bad word. It is your job to be discrepant. In a world that's practical, be kind. In a world that wants to box you into its binaries, refuse to be defined. And when that world asks for half of you, refuse to tuck the rest away. And if you make it out of a trench, it is your job to throw the rope back down, because there is room at the top. And if you pray to spirit, to ancestors, to a merciful God, this time pray for courage, for strength, to do what other generations have left to the future, to become that future now. And if miraculously you make it as a single mother from 7 Mile in Detroit, send your little black boy who loves poetry to college and tell him that he might not change the world, but that one day the world might change if he's discrepant enough. And know that one day he might get the chance to look you in the eyes and tell you that none of this was possible without you, that all of this is now possible for someone else because they might just believe in the power of their discrepancy. And if you still doubt this, know most of all that you already are a discrepancy. Because in this quiet universe, you are a startling sound. In a world depressed by the heavy weight of status quos, you are someone's reason to smile. You are June's suns in the dead of winter, bright green moss in a concrete jungle, and on this silent earth, someone is somewhere waiting for you to say your truth. So when you throw that cap, commit to a life unrefined, unexplainable, colored outside the lines. And when you step off these 40 acres and you take the plunge into this far too normal world, make sure, if nothing else, to find your discrepancies, because in every discrepant event, there's an unrealized truth about you. Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2024.